Hello again, my model building friends. It's Brian with BG Model Workshop, and this update is going to be about our cancer awareness build. We're doing this in honor of my Aunt Joanne. She is currently battling complications due to lung cancer and liver cancer, and a little bit of bone cancer too. But she's battling well, she's doing well. And we're hearing that every day she's getting a little bit stronger. So we're very grateful to be hearing that kind of great news when dealing with such a horrible thing. So on to brighter topics. We're working on the Revell 69 Camaro. It's the Yenko SC427 Coupe, and we're doing this one for liver cancer awareness. So it's going to be an emerald green. And we've got our silver base coat down right now. And I got two coats of Tamiya mica silver, which is a wonderful color. If I wasn't going to be doing a transparent green over the top of this, I would probably just stop here, put some black decals on it, and be done with the build. But we're going to push on and do the a transparent green over the top of this. So we have high hopes that this is going to turn out lovely. But just need to do a little touch of wet sanding because we did get a couple of bits of junk in the paint while we were letting it flash over. But here's our roll pan on a stick. That's looking great. And then here's our body, and that is super fantastic. I mean, that's straight out of the can, and it still has a little bit of a sheen to it, so that's really nice. I apologize, I cannot recall the color number, but it is, to me, a mica silver. I think it's like number 74, TS74. We will be doing a blackout on our rear panel, so I'm not too worried about getting a lot of color on there. And then if you're seeing some fuzziness right here, that's because we have some tape on the inside to protect the interior, because we do have the interior white. And speaking of interiors, let's take a look at that. So this is all done. I didn't realize this until after I glued the seat in, but I do have to do a little bit of touch up right here because it is a little bit of overwash from the wash they put on the seats. But we did the door cards and the seats in Tamiya Racing White, and which is a nice cream color, nice very pale cream color, almost like a bone color. And let's see, we did floor mats because to hide the sink marks that were in there, and the speaker grills, I just hit those with some black Sharpie to give them a little bit of a contrast, because we just did flat black throughout the interior. Nice basic detail on there. I don't know if I'm going to do seat belts or not. Probably not. But we did do some super nice, and I do have pictures up on my Facebook page of the detail on the dashboard. But I'm sorry, we can't see it here very well because of how those gauge clusters are done up. But we did do decals for the gauges, and they look pretty good. So there's that. Our chassis is nearly a runner. There's a lot of detail, a lot of parts on this, on just the chassis alone, and I appreciate that greatly. However, the exhaust headers are beautifully molded. They go together very nicely. Only a little bit of cleanup on the collectors down here is needed. But because of how the engine's mounted, and the fact that our main exhaust pipes are warped and twisted, I have another Camaro kit in the stash, similar vintage, and these pipes are warped and twisted also. It seems to be a common thread throughout the kits. We were going to be faced with having problems with matching up the exhaust pipes with the headers, the collectors I should say. And I've also known from experience, this is why this is one of the kits that I consider to be a cursed kit, because I could never finish one was that getting the engine in with the cross braces and front suspension in place with the headers installed was nearly impossible. And then once you got the headers installed, then you go and you put in the exhaust system, right? Well, I decided to do this back to front. And what I did was I installed the actual rest of the exhaust system and then the suspension. And then I mounted the engine with the drive shaft, got that all sorted out. And then was able to go back through and actually fish the headers into place. And they're just sitting alongside the engine block. They're not attached to the engine block at all. The only places that they're glued is right there and right there, where they mount the rest, where they meet up with the rest of the exhaust pipes. That was the best way to do it because I don't have any gappage going on where my pipes are touching my engine. But that was, from experience, the best way to do that. So so there's how you do that. It does look good. I'm not really worried about it at all. It's going to be a shelf kit. I don't think we're going to be doing a showing on this one at all. But we're making progress, leaps and bounds on this kit here. Here is our core support. I did an interstate style coloring for the battery because I'd never done one like that before, and I thought that would be cool. Plus the engine bay is just all flat black, and that gets boring after a little while. So we did that. Here's our firewall. I got to do the pickouts on the wiring and stuff, but I got the master cylinder painted up and mounted. And yeah, it's got the cowl induction style hood, so this is going to mount to the bottom of the hood, kind of like this. And then in the center of the large hole, this piece here is going to mount in place. But we're going to wait to mount this to the actual engine until after the body is already on the chassis, because this is one of those things that you're going to be flicking with your finger and knocking off every single time. And then I got our itty bitty license plates that Dylan, we got from Dylan. I got those mounted up on the license plate frames. And we'll get those mounted on when everybody's all painted up and polished and pretty and deckled and everything like that. So there we go. There's our update on our cancer awareness group build. Again, thank you very much to Mr. Bob Buski for hosting this, as well as Mr. Chris Cortell. Guys, it's probably one of the most important group builds of the year. So we much appreciate that. And we joined for the very first time last year, and I have a feeling that we will be joining every year subsequently. So everybody, have a great rest of your week. We'll talk to you a little bit later on. And remember, just keep at it. Bye now.